everyone, welcome to episode 4 of Eat Some Dynamite.
Yes.
Yeah. Right now we have a special guest in our chair.
Our second guest.
Our second guest. Powerhouse in 2D.
House of Power.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, she speaks! Yes! It's RAI Villanueva!
Rai's in the house.
Okay, so we've got RAI. She's one of the 2D leads in the studio Secret 6. And she's dropped by. She's been nice enough to drop by and talk to us a little bit about what she does and what it's like being in the other art department.
Yep.
Yeah, because so far we've been all 3D. So, yeah. Hi.
Hello, what's up? What's up?
Not a lot. What's up with you? What's up with you?
Would you like
Can there be a
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, introduce yourself.
Yeah.
I'm RAI,
Yeah.
and there's really not much to say.
So what do you do? What do you do in Secret 6 in the studio?
Right now, what we do is the lead stuff that we have to do is take in new projects and estimate them before we give them out. Find people to do them for us, schedule, talk to clients, stuff like that. Okay.
Cool. No, that's okay. So pinching hosts isn't that thing.
Absolutely not.
Guess where is she pinching kind?
Let's not guess, and let's just pretend
Above
like
the table.
Whoa, it's not.
We'll take your guesses on our Twitter page, Facebook page, and YouTube page.
Okay, yeah. So as a lead, do you guys still have to do the regular art stuff as well? Like, do you guys make, or do you have to work on assets and do all that?
That depends on the time, as well as how many projects you're handling. Most of us don't want to let go of our art side.
Yeah.
Other leads will really try to keep some work for themselves to actually do art in, so that we don't, get rusty.
Yeah.
So yeah, I take on a few items that were missed, or a few minor jobs that I can jump in and out of.
Cool. And how long have you been with the studio? Just for reference.
Are you gonna make me do math? I think that was about 4.
You don't have to do math.
It's technically math, okay?
Counting to 4 is not.
Hey, it was math. I just did. Well,
I think you started, if I remember correctly.
2011.
Yeah, a
Late
couple of
2011.
months after I did. So you're probably there around 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, happy 4 years.
You. Happy 4 years as well.
Thank you. Great, that's cool.
So, how long have you been a lead?
Oh, that's actually a tricky question, because I'm actually not sure. Or at the
More
start.
math?
No, it's not math this time. It's more like the schedules were very difficult a few years ago. So I just happened to be in a lead role when new people came in. So, yeah. So, officially 2012, I think.
2012.
Yeah.
Cool. And in that time, you managed to hold on to the assets, and you're still doing work.
Yes.
Because have you found that being a lead, how has that affected your life as an artist? Because obviously, even before you were a lead and before you started working in Secret 6, you're an artist first and foremost.
Yeah.
And anyone that's worked in the studio knows that getting more responsibility and more paperwork, having to handle more people, means that you're gonna have to sacrifice some of that artistic time that you have to create. Yeah, so I mean, since 2012, so that's coming up to almost 3 years now.
Yes.
Do you find that that's affected? How's that affected your art life?
Okay, so honestly, my art life has suffered. It's like what you said, you have to balance or you have to choose what you really want to go into. Because the more time it takes for you to start managing, start scheduling, start learning about export, new programs, R&D, you lose time for your usual art practice or whatever you wanted to do. For example, background art, you'd need a lot more time thinking about perspective, trying it out, doing lots of sketches, and a lot of that, at least during work hours, is sacrificed because at work you're managing stuff. It's really up to you. Yeah, some managers can still handle that by working on their art on the weekends or on their own time, but there's definitely a sacrifice to be made. A choice, at least. Yeah.
So, having said that, how's your weekend look like?
I usually dedicate some time to playing games. You know, we are in the art industry. We have to play games.
Yep.
Have to. And then most of the other half usually goes to, no, I'm thinking about, making more games. Personal projects, actually. It doesn't have to be making games. It just happens na I finished a few game jams and I'm continuing on some of the game jams.
Yeah.
Aside from that, other personal work that are non-game related.
What's a game jam?
Oh, game jam. That is when a group of people, here in Secret 6 we have them, internal, and I think next game jam is going to be 3D based. But in any case, the departments come up together, and then they start. They have a theme. They start with a theme usually, or situations like, you're limited to this kind of coding, etc., etc. And then based on that, we end up making a jam. A jam lasts for either. Hardcore jams last for 2 to 3 days, and the longer ones 2 to 3 weeks. The last game jam was 2 to 3 weeks, I think.
So they used you for a hardcore jam.
Oh!
We got a hardcore jam like it. Yeah.
It's hardcore 3D.
Hi, I'm Hardcore Jam.
Oh god.
Yay!
No,
It's not just a name.
It's a lifestyle. Jam hardcore.
Oh, I wish I have my air horn bot.
Poly based reality.
Oh, that's really good. So
Didn't we? Yeah, we did a game jam I think last year
Yes.
in
which-
Ateneo.
Oh.
Yeah, it lasted around 3 days.
3 days.
Wow.
But a lot of that is
Felt
like
like-
this one.
Yeah, it felt like eternity.
Whoa.
Some days.
Enjoyable
At some
eternity.
point, yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, because you're working the whole time and you have to finish certain things for it to work.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't. I'll make a character and it's just a character. You know.
Are you allowed to pre-make things?
Some art jams don't allow you to do that.
Like, let's say if you're gonna make a game, and you're gonna need a character. Are you allowed to like use something that you've made previously, or everything, all content has to be made right then and there?
As far as I know, it's all content. I think some Ludum Dares are not Ludum Dares.
What's a Ludum Dare?
That's a
What's
kind
a
of
doodle
game
duff?
jam. Doodle duff. You should ask somebody else about that. I've only been in one, and that was a speed. That was Chard. That was with Chard.
You've only been in one doodle duff.
Yes, doodle duffs. No. That depends on the people making the game jam. I think here in Essex, we're pretty loose. You know. No.
Bro!
No, as in
We are not loose.
I mean, changes. Everything changes. The
Yeah.
themes can change. It can be strict. It can be loose. Okay. Anyways, you should get somebody else to ask about game jams.
Someone get a snippet of that sound clip of Ryan going, here in Essex, we're pretty loose.
Start looping it too.
Yeah, we're loose.
It's gonna be on our website.
Oh,
www.secret6isloose.com.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can only, like, I guess, pre-rehearse
Yeah.
in game jam.
Yeah.
Yes, you can practice like speed
Yeah.
sculpting, modeling, speed rigging. If it is going to be 3D based, it sounds cool. Like it's a
So
sort
I
of,
think
it sounds
uh,
very fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I think all game jams are pretty much 3D based, but somehow 2D is much more faster.
Yeah, well, depends. I think in at the Neo Game Jam there were a lot of
Yeah.
3D work.
Like when Gene made the game.
Oh yeah.
It was a time when the Unreal Engine came out.
Wait, parang naalala ko ng tanong mo.
Gene, if you're hearing this.
Dito naman talaga ako.
Oh shit.
Gee, no pun intended.
Anong pa may sasabi? Alam na ako narinig ako.
Oh my god.
Don't worry, guys. We'll have Gene on the show.
Soon enough.
Just
Okay,
don't
bye,
let
Gene.
Don't let him see this episode, please.
You won't. You listen to it.
Oh, damn it!
Okay, so thank you for coming. And we'll open the floor up now to any questions that you guys have.
So what's the
Do you guys miss us over there?
Yeah. You're doing this on air on purpose. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, first of all.
She says yeah, but this is probably the longest time she'd come here.
I haven't, I will be honest, I haven't come here.
Why? Because it's so hot outside.
I'm sorry.
Because it's so far.
No, I end late.
You have to
and
cross
once I
the
end late-
bridge.
Once I end late, I know you guys are not here anymore.
Oh, really? Because you do text asking if we... No, just kidding. We're kidding. We love Judy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All good. All good.
Yeah. We do the legwork going there anyway, so
Yeah.
mm.
All good.
You haven't been missed either.
Huh? Well, at least I do more than you.
It's okay. You're busy.
So
Why cross the bridge when you can go local? Yeah.
Oh god.
We're talking about work. Okay.
so what's it like being a lead in your department? Because in the past years we have been working together on several projects, which is basically stuff from your assets from your department. And somehow I just came along.
Hell. Yeah.
Just basically that to help art direct a certain look, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure right now you have much more experience from a few years back. So I'd like to know how things have changed and how were you able to streamline everything?
Ooh.
This is a streamline.
Streamline.
Since
In the
how
life.
about the
Yeah. I mean, how's your day like?
Okay, so from the time we worked together before, we streamlined by adding more programs. Ta-da! Yeah, they're
which was a big woe for me because most of the programs we're gonna use are basically managing programs.
Oh yeah, but
Organizing programs like what the hell, Trello. You have Trello, we have Slack. What else do we have? Oh yeah, and finally get to do Excel.
yeah.
That's a pain.
Yeah, you learn a lot about other sides of the production when you're
Mhm.
leading. Because you really have to know like man days, man hours, how long
Yeah.
it takes you to get this. How
And
can you
somehow,
do this.
not a lot of people know that being at that kind of position, it basically boils down to managing a lot of spreadsheets.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely a
The
lot.
start of the day, like remember the time we used to rant about we can't get any work done because the whole morning we have to go through these meetings.
Yes.
The early morning scrum with the main guys, scrums with our department.
So
Probably-
fun.
Yes. There's gonna be, and that would last for hours. Say, I think the longest one was basically after lunch.
I think they'll see.
Mm-hmm. And by that time, after it's done, we actually go down and start working.
Or look at more trackers just
More.
to schedule. Yeah.
Just to confirm that the numbers are right. And by the end of the day, we'll be staring at spreadsheets all day long.
Yeah, Yeah,
For
but
anyone
it's-
else kind of working in a different studio, feel free to let us know if it's also like that where you guys work. Yeah. Working in Secret Six, leadership positions end up being more tracking positions. It's more of the paperwork that you have to do in the background. And I'm kind of curious to know if it's like that in other studios as well. So let us know if your leads kind of do more of that stuff, and or if it's just us.
Yeah.
I really want to know.
To be fair, we've streamlined it in a way that we check trackers in the morning. We also delegate a lot more. For example, artists, when they come in, when they check in the morning, they already know what they can start on before we'd have to tell them. And then they also know to put on the dates, to put on how many hours, to put what kind of progress they're in. That way it really helps us leads, because we don't have to micromanage everything.
Yeah. You just
Right?
monitor it.
Yeah, monitor and check. But not only that,
Do you
We'll-
right now? Do you exclusively just monitor and check,
no.
or were you able to do some assets?
I'm able to do assets. I usually support the other artists. For example, there's a mini project and another mini project that pops up. So I could schedule the artist for that project as well, and then just support them both, so that they still get things done with me in the background, doing some work, which is fine with me because I still love handling, assets rather than just looking at
that
stuff.
that itch that you'd like to do something. You'd like to do something more besides checking out being a manager and all.
Although I do see some upsides also for managing, so it's not a big loss also.
What's the upside?
Well, upside is you get to talk to people. You get
Opposite
to support
of downside. Noik, noik, noik.
I did not hear that.
We edit that out.
Please don't cut me up, please.
I swear I did not hear that.
No, but
Our listeners will rise.
This chip looks like a whale. No, but I mean, because obviously along with being a lead comes with, more responsibility, more things you can put on your resume and all of that. But at this stage of your career, because you obviously became a lead very young, right? You kind of came to the studio, and that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you came to the studio, and pretty much a year later, you were put in a leadership position due to new people coming in. And so, I mean, is that, in your opinion, was that a good thing for you in terms of your development as an artist, or?
I think it was a good thing for me as a person, actually, because I was never sort of the leader type. For example, I was never the one to ask questions first. I was never the one to pick up everything and say, okay, I'm gonna organize this. And then with that position being shoved at me, I'm like, okay, I really have to fix things. I never liked tracking before. I never liked naming things. For example, like in my old works, you would probably see like BG copy 1, BG copy 2, version 2, final, really final, promise final.
Really final, pinaka-final, absolute final, pinaka-final 1, pinaka-final 2, pinaka-final revision.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, and it really helps in the long run. It helps everyone when you train artists na, no, you don't do that. Okay, if this is BG Final 1, don't put BG Final 2, really final, ADSF, XXX, stuff like that.
Yeah.
XXX?
I have seen that in some client works. Yes.
Oh, okay, sorry. Side story. This was my final year of college, and we had to submit a video for a paper. And I remember, like, the video just wouldn't export out right because of codecs and some sort of issue. And I named the file. I hope this bitch works.
Oh.
And I don't know how it happened, but that's the one I ended up sending. So my file name was I hope this bitch works.mov. And it really happens.
A for creativity.
Yes. Yeah, I think the worst I've come across was BG shit.
BG shit?
Yeah, that's the worst. We got that in from a client, But then,
BG shit?
and we were like, oh, we were looking for this for a really long time now.
Was it actually supposed to be BG shit, or was it BG backgrounds?
No, BG underscore shit. And the assets was really pretty, not shitty at all. But I suppose that they were frustrated.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. It's also frustrating to look for assets then for us. So it really helps when the naming, training people.
That's something that you'll always remember.
I will always remember this.
BG shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you can also compare that to renaming your layers in Photoshop.
What? We can do that?
Wait, what's wrong with layer 78?
I know where my layer's at.
Yeah, what up, Leia?
Leia.
We've learned a lot. Like you wouldn't think it's important, but then when somebody else has to finish some stuff and then give you the Photoshop and then say like, oh, please export this. Just look for the files, and you have no idea what the names are.
Yeah.
Then you see that you could have saved time.
Yeah.
I learned that when we were working on this game that requires animations.
Oh yes,
Oh my
yes.
god.
Exactly.
And that fear that you'd have to rename all
Everything.
by consecutively by numbers.
Right now, though, we've streamlined that too. We've got some mini codes that let you.
You had codes. I have to download it from a sketchy
Yeah,
website.
you could have always asked me.
You didn't even know what to do back then, right?
Back
To
then,
be
this is
fair,
3
the
years
website
later.
doesn't have to be a sketchy one. Jem just likes going to sketchy websites.
I just click Google and look what came up.
It's like, I'm gonna search for a script. Safe search off.
Did you say strip? No, Google, no!
Mel script. Hey, look, there's a girl called Mel. Oh.
You're no girl.
What?
This is like, is this a joke or is this coming from actual experience?
No, I have no experience with those sorts of sites whatsoever. Anything you hear to the contrary is wrong.
Well, the strip part is real. No, I'm kidding. It's the...
He's not kidding.
Exactly. No, it doesn't look like it.
And no one would believe me.
No.
Hashtag I believe in Jem on our Facebook if you believe in me. Yeah.
Nope. Okay.
No, okay.
Yeah, so, what do you... We talked about the added responsibilities of being a lead, and how that kind of takes away from the time you have as an artist. What's the flip side to that? What do you enjoy most about being a lead? Are there days where you come in and you're like,
Work.
Yes!
Work.
I am leading this biatch,
Yeah.
and I
Get
am
to work.
the shiz.
I drive this train.
Yeah.
Bitches.
Yeah.
You're
This
going
FX is
down
going
with
where I
me.
steer it.
I don't suppose I use the same words.
Start grabbing that whip.
Oh, no, nor do I get a whip.
Oh, 50 Shades of 2D.
Yeah.
No! Okay.
This inner goddess.
Rai will see you now.
Half of 2D already calls me mommy, so.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, but I find it cute.
Yo, mama.
No, not like that. No. The upside.
They call you mommy?
They what?
Half of 3D calls me Pogi.
Man. We are.
Or what was the question?
The upside.
Oh, yeah, the
Well,
upside.
mommy.
Oh, God.
Mommy.
No, yeah, like, what do you enjoy about being a lead? What is the, aside from, because obviously there are some trade-offs for your art, but what's the plus side? What do you enjoy most about being a lead?
A lot of it is seeing how everyone's grown, seeing
Yeah.
how everyone's started, like, getting their own initiative, doing their own trained work, like the stuff that you told them to do before. You don't have to tell them anymore. They're just doing it. Here, I got this for you. They're actually subbing for you, helping you out as well, and then getting the work done on time with good quality.
Mhm.
And then we get stuff from clients too. Now, hey, I know this is great work. That's something to look forward to also. I think knowing you had a hand in it, and then knowing that some of the decisions you made were really good ones. Seeing that people were like, hey, I like what I'm doing. Also, like, as a manager, you also have to think not only of what the client needs, but also what the artist needs, right? Of course, that's limited, but with what you can, you shuffle people around, you see what they're good at, what they want to learn, and thus.
Also, you specialize people.
Not always. We have generalists as well, but we do have people who have a kick in some areas.
Mm-hmm.
And then, especially if the work needs to get done quicker, we're like, hey, will you be able to do this? Okay, if not, teach us. We've also learned a lot from each other.
Yeah,
I think that's a great thing also about working.
Besides learning stuff from each other, what have you learned about yourself?
Oh,
Whoa, that's a bit
That's
of a loaded
suddenly-
question.
Yeah.
Yes. Please
In
tell
my
us,
deep
Mommy.
voice.
oh God, I have learned.
Wait, who do you call Daddy?
Yeah.
If there's a mommy, there has to be.
I don't call anyone that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm my own woman.
I'm a home woman. I'm sorry.
I pay for my own bills. Snap, snap. No, seriously, there's no daddy in
Holla.
TV.
No, there's no that.
You need like a strong male presence there to balance things out.
No,
Otherwise, everyone's gonna be
Strong.
Maybe it's
I can be the strong male presence actually, so it's fine.
So, mommy is a strong male presence.
Mommy, I'm confused.
Mommy is gender fluid.
Yeah, in this day and age.
But you know,
that's-
love
that's
always
all
wins.
fine. Yes, love always wins. That's our takeaway for
Really?
today.
You're gonna throw that rainbow here?
Yeah. Hey, we support gay rights.
We do.
Right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Go kiss Kim.
Mm.
Oh, I would. Yes, we really support this.
Mwah, I kiss Kim. How do you like it, Kim? Nah.
So,
You're so alone.
Sorry, James' question.
which
Yeah,
can you
what-
repeat that? Sorry.
I got caught up with the whole mommy. Because we don't call anyone mommy or daddy here.
Yeah.
You could start doing that.
We could, but we don't call anyone mommy or daddy here. Just because we don't have a mommy. We're like lost boys.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the lost boys.
Never growing up. Never growing up.
Yeah.
Rufio. Yeah, bro, Rufio though.
Yeah, we
It's
gotta go look for
Rufio.
Wendy.
Mm.
Don't we already have one?
Huh? We?
Oh, sorry, you guys.
Yeah.
What?
A Wendy.
For Wendy?
Mm. Answer my question.
Sorry, what is the question again?
The question was, besides you learning about your teammates,
Mhm.
what have you learned about yourself?
Oh, okay. I've learned that I'm not really as scatterbrained as I thought I was. Or push comes to shove, I suppose. And
That is actually surprising coming from you.
yeah, I know. Last year I was like, oh, where is this? Where is everything? Where is well?
I don't know, I suck at this, lol.
Shh. You know? Anyways, we edit that out.
And that's how you throw someone under the bus.
So, that I could, so long as there's a computer screen between me and the client, I can actually discuss with them intelligently instead of the blah 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 I hear inside my head every day.
What if it's a video call?
Oh no, that I'm still working on.
Oh.
I sort of like roll around the floor.
You
before
put in
the-
a paper bag and
I'm
say, hey!
close to that. You should ask other people. I really do roll around the floor. When it's.
Ew.
Thank
Go on,
you.
go on.
Thank you. No, the client doesn't see it. They're usually looking the other way. I'm on the other side of the room,
Mhm.
rolling around.
Cool, okay.
So yeah, some things I still have to work on, but I learned a lot. I think.
Do you think this is something you see yourself doing for the next few years? Well, granted, you have this newfound skill. Now, would you focus that skill specifically on these kinds of stuff? Being a leader and all, and managing stuff? Because
Or would you rather go back to just purely being an artist? Given the choice, let's say you're not in this situation anymore, and you know they said, you know what, we're in a position now where we can reshuffle the company. would you still be at this stage of your career? Would you want to be in a role of leadership, or would you rather go back to being an artist?
Is it a cheat if I say both? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
Kind of
can I explain why?
You could still a cheat.
No, it's more like
cheap.
I'd want to develop our own IPs. So I'd want to help out. You're more creative that way. I suppose more creative freedom as an artist, but also as a lead. I don't mind asking artists, hey, you know, come up with something awesome for this. But there's generally more leeway.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a mix of both. You know, what I'd really want is to be able to have more creative freedom in our work in general, as a leader, even. As a leader, as an artist. But I don't mind doing what I do. Actually, I don't mind doing what I do. I still have to practice at home. Because there's also that feeling that you see other people growing artistically and you're just like, you know, yay, Excel, change colors, I know how to change colors.
I suddenly remember a quote that I've read online. It was basically from a French comic artist. And what he said was, he's doing freelance. He's basically freelancing. And
Do it in
then
a French accent.
he's basically doing the freelancing. I'm sorry, French people. I think you're awesome.
Go, Arthur.
He said,
Yeah,
he
go
said,
Arthur.
being your own boss also means working with an idiot.
Ouch.
Well, it's kind
That's
of
such a French thing to say.
yeah. He's also an idiot.
No, well, that's I'm not afraid of that anymore, I suppose. I used to be afraid of leading. Or like being, like doing everything by myself. Like, what if it's not good enough? What if I'm doing it wrong?
Yeah, I actually felt the same when I actually felt the same back then when I started working on something because I mean honestly it was really nerve-wracking because you would think about, oh my god, what would the people think of me, and how would your decision affect on how your team, how the team looks at you as a leader. Like, do they perceive you as competent enough for this project?
Yes.
It's like every day.
Honestly, it still feels that way. Sometimes I think I'm like, what if they don't trust me enough? Especially if it's about art revisions. Let's say I tell them, oh, it's a bit too cold, make it a bit warmer, and then
Yeah, that's the thing with artists, right? Because we tend to have a bloated ego, especially in our work.
yeah,
And then of course there will be times, especially when there's revisions, we'd have to tone it down and instead of going, no.
But I think in our specific type of industry that we have clients, we really have to be sensitive to them as well. It's really, well, it's their money, right?
Yeah, and
so
we'd
that's
have
what they want.
And we'd have to understand that this is a team effort.
Yes. So, in 2D, I think a lot of people don't take it as personally. I think newer artists, when we start training them, they get hurt a lot first.
Yeah, especially the new ones. I mean, they're not kind of exposed to that kind of, say, work environment. Yeah, unlike I believe back in college, you don't get much revisions. You just go on unless you ask for it.
Yeah.
But then when you're doing an artwork, you just submit it by the end of the day and just get your grade.
Yeah.
There's no chance there is a chance if you take the extra effort to ask for some criticisms, which I think not a lot of students are doing.
I think it's necessary though.
It is.
Starting early, especially being okay to receiving.
Yeah, and especially how sometimes we get hurt easily.
Yeah.
Again, with a bloated ego.
Yeah. But you work around that. I think they're also on the other side.
You know how I work around that?
How?
I don't give a shit.
Oh god.
as long as I'm gonna get the job right.
Well, for me, it's both ways. I think the artist should be able to handle the criticism of their work. You know, not coddle their work, because they only get better once they listen to certain, to people in the long run, and then of course listen to themselves as well.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there's also the right way to criticize
To
a
give
work.
a
Constructive, of course.
something constructive rather than
Yeah, then just
bashing stuff.
yeah, there's a difference between saying I don't like this color and saying I think I can't see the text with this color. Right?
Yeah.
This
You're
color's
immediately-
ugly like your face.
Oh yeah, then there's another range of criticism that just you can put in the trash, stuff like that, because it doesn't help you as an artist. You're like, okay, so what do I do now if you think this is ugly as my face?
So, what do you think? How do you think is the right way to show some criticism? Well, granted that anything we say, especially when we're gonna criticize stuff, it's gonna hurt the people. But do you have any suggestions on how to make it appear constructive in a way? Add a little, just to dull down the edges.
Yeah, I think first of all, I owe it to the artist to make them understand why the revisions are necessary. Some of the revisions come from places like QA or programming, as well as the client. And when it's like that, I could tell it to the artist in a way that, let me give you an example. We can't read the fonts properly, or maybe on the device it's too small. So can you please make it bigger? Things like the character is no longer seen in the background, and he's the main character, right? So he has to be seen. So can you try and make him pop out a bit more? That's aside from dulling the edges, it also gives them a direction rather than saying, I don't like this.
It's true.
thing.
It's true.
Yeah.
Like some criticisms were like, something's off here, but I just don't know.
Okay, that happens though. Sometimes I
It
see
does.
that, I'm not so sure about this, but I can't
But
explain
can
why.
you-
No, but it's in that case, like, because at the end of the day, we're the professional artists, and
Yes.
clients, we can't expect them to know all the little nuances that make a certain piece of artwork work. But you know that, when people say, I may not know art, but I know what I like, it's that effect when they say something's off, but I can't quite put my finger on it. And I think it's our responsibility as an artist to kind of
Figure out. as well.
figure it out,
Yes.
identify what it is, relay that back to the clients, and that'll help them become better clients eventually, as they grow in their understanding of art.
Yeah.
But, because sometimes they just really can't say what's wrong with it. And, it's not their job. At the end of the day, they're the clients. We can't expect them to know everything. That's why they come to us to do it. Otherwise, they do it themselves.
On the other hand, though, sometimes when they say that, it's probably something that they have a vision. So they have requirements. For example, client A would like as much ads as possible. There are clients like that. And those are different needs. Other clients may want something that looks really dramatic versus something that looks really casual for whatever reason that they want. And sometimes they can't translate why it looks off because, as you said, they're not professional artists. But I think it's also in our capability to find out what it is they want in the product and the artwork and try to cater to that. Of course, it's more like you have to keep relaying messages, understand why it's not working, really. Then there are some clients who are just like, I know what I like. Those are difficult clients because they don't help you out. Those comments don't help you out at all. You're trying to do it well for the client, but all they can say is, I know what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I don't really like this period. Or did they suggest something else?
No, generally clients who don't suggest actually make it harder for the artists.
Yeah.
And it also costs them more money because it'll take more time for the artist to find out what the artwork needs.
it's an unfair expectation because, working in our industry, because we're outsourcing, communication is 99% of the process, and getting the information across in the most effective, efficient way possible, just to get it really clear. And if a client just stands back and says, I know what I like, it's like, but we don't know what you like, Like, I can't dig into your brain, connect the little puzzle pieces, and form a picture of what you're seeing in there. So, comments like that you said, really doesn't help. If someone says, I know what I like, and I like this, then that'd be so much better. I like red. I don't like blue. I like, I like oranges. I don't like apples. And if it's something like that, then that we can work with. But if you just say, no, this isn't working at all.
Do something else. You're an artist.
Yeah.
We had the opposite side of clients before. Clients who actually taught us a lot. They would actually revise our work and then send it to us and say, our game needs to be saturated, our game needs to look like this because of one reason or another. So this is what we did. And what we can do with that is tell our artists, and from then on, we always make sure that we apply it on all the other succeeding works. So that shortens the span that they need to explain it over and over again, and it also teaches us a lot, at least about the specific art style that the client wants. So that's also awesome. That saves a lot. Right.
It's that whole thing of don't tell me, show me.
Show, yeah.
Like,
Pictures work wonders.
Right.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, definitely. So, okay, that's a little tip for you clients out there. If any of our clients are listening to us. We've had some really, really good clients. And, there are too many of you to name. We've had some not so great clients. We won't name you. But yeah, just a little tip, for the whole outsourcing thing. Yeah, it's different when it's in-house and we can see what you want and you can do a little sketch. But visuals, use even not physical visuals, but visual words that can kind of help us paint an image of what's going on in your head because we can't see it unless you describe it.
I suppose also generally knowledge about the entire game. There's some people who would only give you a portion and just hope that it works. But generally, it gives us more of a lead when you give us a backstory or when you give us the overall. I want this game to be casual and yet an RPG. Those things, although strange, can work, can help us overall.
I want this fighting game to be an FPS RPG.
Wait, what?
That's also an MMO.
And it's
that
gotta
happens
look
to
like
be a
Flappy
puzzle game
with achievements,
with platforms in the same style as Angry Birds, with a little bit of Tetris.
That you can play on the Rift.
And I want it 3D.
And I could upload it
But
on
flat,
Instagram.
you know what I mean?
Well, general overviews. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. General overviews also help us and help you guys.
Yeah.
She pointed to the microphone.
Yeah,
you can't see where she's pointing, but she's...
It's a microphone.
Well, we'll try add video at some point.
No.
Not today.
Why add video? We can add a Vine.
If you want us to do a Vine, let us know.
Hashtag yes Vine.
So many hashtags in one episode.
Well, we gotta get the listeners out.
Does anyone actually use our hashtags? Do we have any hashtags?
We can't use hashtag dynamite. It's gonna raise a lot of questions. Yeah. So, okay. So, work life aside, I'm basically interested on.
Who are you interested in?
Yeah, Jim. Who are you interested in?
Now is that evening portion where we talk about who Jem is interested in.
Cue nice music.
Kim, we're talking about who Jem is interested in.
Oh, I think Jim is interested in the babies.
Let's start with it. We'll go alphabetical, shall we?
It's that girl that her last name that rhymes with stick.
What girls?
The one who sang about blank spaces and
Brick?
bad blood and
Wait, how does her last name rhyme with stick?
Yeah.
swift stick. Oh, that's right.
There you go. If you're listening out there, Taylor Stick.
Taylor Stick.
Well, she is pretty thin, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I love you, baby.
Whoa. Okay, so what was your question?
Work life aside, every time when I'm basically interested on side projects that artists do outside their day job.
Are you glaring at me?
No,
Are you sure?
Just asking you about
Okay.
That's okay. He does that with every guest. He did it last week.
Wow. So much that.
Well,
Like, what are the projects that you're really excited to do?
some of them are game projects,
Mm.
just casual games. Some of them are comics, which I haven't done in a
Yeah.
but I'm working on it.
I know.
So on that note, what's the next edit?
Yeah, that's something I'm working on. The problem is, I haven't written in an
Quick,
even
talk
longer
about-
time.
Talk about it.
Well,
PR.
no, wait. I thought we were-
Yeah, well, side project, yo.
Yeah, side projects. So Edith, I'm still working on the second chapter, and my artist is waiting for me.
Mm-hmm.
Is edits available online? If-
Not yet. We haven't
If the
discussed
listeners are
this.
Edith is our
interested,
ate. We have to find her. Shout out Angel's Burger.
Yeah. And, yeah, I mean, we all know that being a lead in a certain department is really a time-consuming job. And all you wanted to do in a weekend is just go to sleep or play games, disregard sleep and play games. So, what gives you the energy to pursue other things? Because every time when I try to contact you on Facebook, say, hey, what's up? And then you're like, I'm learning animation.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, cool. And then the next time that I ask you what's up, you said, I'm learning how to use this program. Where did you get the energy to do all that?
It's more like a general interest in it. I as much as I get addicted to games, I also get addicted when I'm in the zone. Like when you see that your work is almost completed, you can keep going.
Yeah, the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, and I think one of the happiest moments this year was after our game jam in Ateneo. It was like, yes,
Hugo.
it's done!
we got an award for that.
Everyone got an award though. And I don't think that was, for me, it was really more like, we did something of our own, idea, everything from scratch.
Yes.
You know, everybody
Like
working
span of
together.
3 days.
Yeah.
So can we share Yugo to the listeners?
Oh yeah, we can. Is it still up?
It's
Come
the
on.
one we should be,
Link bombs.
we'll give you the link later.
Yeah, we're gonna post it. We're gonna post it in the description of this episode.
Well, yeah. Generally, it's just making stuff makes me happy.
Making your own stuff.
Yes. I think with Edith though, the problem there, sorry, because aside from trying to learn art, I have to go back to writing. That's another.
Also, for those of you that didn't know, Rai is also a writer.
She draws, she writes.
I haven't written in a long time, so I don't know if I can consider.
But then
myself
she
a
wrote these amazing short stories.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Kim? Do you have a question for Rai?
Okay. Going back to what you said earlier about I'm curious about how you became a leader. You said you just learned it.
Mhm.
I'm curious, so you're saying that leaders are made,
Oh.
not born. I mean, if you say that, then I can learn to be a leader too. Or anyone who,
But what about
Aspires.
What about Leonardo? The Ninja Turtle?
well,
He was born a leader. Shout out to Leo. What up?
It makes me wonder, how did Master Splinter assign the colors to them? You look like a blue.
like Channing Tatum in Magic Mike, he became a leader
Leader
at
man.
the end of the movie.
I haven't watched this movie.
Oh, lies.
Lies.
I really haven't. You'll have to describe it to me in great detail,
Really?
if you could.
Describe to you.
I thought that Dan used to watch it a lot.
I did get to watch it with her.
Really? You really should watch it with Den. Den, if you're out there.
Shout
listening,
out, Den.
You should watch Magic Mike. And
Again.
invite all of us so we can all hang out again.
Yeah.
They'll dance for you, probably.
Maybe.
Depends on the alcohol.
Oh.
No, it doesn't. I would.
You can say people want me to dance.
We were okay.
No, see.
So, okay, with that question, leadership for me is a skill. There are people who have it as a talent. It's dance. There are some people who can dance, just automatically move their bodies really well.
Like this.
Like me.
well. But it's also a skill that you can hone, that you can keep doing, and you wake up every morning and say, okay, I will at least manage this for myself, manage this for that, or you keep doing this. You keep learning, you keep reading about it actually helps. And anyone can be made into a leader. Perhaps some can be more effective than others. I'm not saying that it's an equal opportunity thing here, but everyone can learn. Everyone can choose to become a leader.
And only if you can do it efficiently.
Well, you can learn to be efficient.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's really a skill. Most of it is a skill.
And I think leadership is one of those things where efficiency does not necessarily equate to
Yes,
effectiveness
that's true.
either.
That's true.
You know, but there are some intangible leadership qualities that, like you said, some people are just born to be leaders. Some people get taught. But there's some things about leadership that just are intangible. Yeah. So I think that's part of what Kim was saying, where if you think leaders can be made, or if they're born, I think anyone can lead. Not everyone can lead well.
Okay.
Yeah, so it could be a case of that. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, it makes sense.
We'll
I
dance
just-
for him.
Just wondering if, for me, in this industry, it's really more of a question of whether you want to end up being a leader or an artist. Because really, you really lose a lot of time for practice, or for at least work. During work, you're not holding a pen to draw, you're holding it to manage, to teach, to open source files and check for stuff.
But then that can be described not necessarily as leading, but managing.
That's true.
And I think that as an artist, you can lead by example,
That's true too.
which is a different form of leadership.
Yeah, we have hybrids at work. We have people hybrids.
I heard hybrids. You're a wizard, Harry.
No, we have people at work who do well, who specialize, let's say, but then you can always go to them and say, what do you guys think about this, about how this looks? That is still leading, because that person would then be helping out another artist and saying, well, I think it doesn't have enough drama, you should do this and that. That's still leading.
Yeah.
And that is leading by example. Yeah, so it really, different kinds of leaders require different things out of a person, I suppose. There are some that need to know more about scheduling, managing, like you said. And there are some who get through it through their artistic skills, I suppose. Nowadays, we also have project leads. So what they do is they micromanage the entire project for the creative lead. So that helps out since we have so many projects inside one project. So, and then they have little nuances inside those, the way you export, what you need, what kind of style, what gradients to use. They're all pretty nitpicky. So, it's also good to have project leader aside from a creative lead. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sharing the load.
Yeah, sharing, exactly. We have, our creative manager once mentioned it to us. It's
Who's your creative manager?
Anne Gallet.
Oh, Gallet.
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 Now,
Gallet.
We're
have
actually,
her on.
yeah,
Have
we
her
actually
on.
we've talked to her about coming on possibly next week. So Anne, if you're out there, Jem will
Hello?
also dance for you.
Okay, so she.
Rai just flashed the microphone.
You
can't see it, but when we mentioned Anne, she just completely flashed the microphone.
Don't worry, guys. I got this on record.
No, I don't.
No. No, I don't. I don't even know.
Bro, even our guests are shutting you down.
Sorry.
I'm gonna make my own podcast.
Who's gonna be your first guest? Us, of course, bro.
No, it's gonna be Taylor Stick.
I'd be the judge of that.
Okay. Here.
No, sorry. I think. Yeah, you were saying.
Oh yeah, I'll just finish that. What Anne told me, told us anyways, was the bus effect. You have to lessen your bus effect. A bus effect is if it's a sad example, but if one of the leads gets hit by a bus and can't go to work, or for some odd reason just can't go to work, and then
why does it need to be a bus? Maybe they just can't go to work. Okay, yeah, sorry, carry on.
And then the rest of the artists will go to work and not know what to do. That is actually not an efficient way to do things. So you have to lessen that bus effect. You have to delegate. You have to teach them to be their own manager as well. So if, for example, I got sick, I can't go to work, when they look at the tracker, they can already see, oh, I can do this, I can do that, I know how to do this, I can start on that, right? So it lowers the pressure on the leads as well. Yeah.
And eliminates weak links, right? Because, I mean, you don't want, of course, you're going to have a structure to your company, but you don't want it to just end and, either live or die by one person.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're a department. So, no, that's cool.
Teamwork.
Bus effect. It could just be called the sick effect or the take a day off effect, but it has to be a bus effect.
Bus effect.
Ow. You are brutal, and what are you talking about people getting hit by buses for, bro?
What is this, Mad Max?
Do they have buses in Mad Max?
Trucks.
That's rough.
Pretty much like buses, carry people around.
Yeah, with that dude with the guitar.
Yeah.
Aaron's leaving. Bye, Aaron.
Bye.
We had a cat.
So what were we saying?
Yeah. So one last question before we sign off, because seriously, this has been a really juicy episode. Loads of information regarding work.
We're all for juice.
Yep. I've learned the bus juice.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Bus juice.
what is the one advice you wish people would tell you when you came in?
Oh, like what would I tell
Like,
myself?
if you knew then what you know now, what would you have wanted to know?
Go back in time and you see a slightly smaller Rai, or maybe
Slightly
smaller.
Thank you. Wait, I'm thinking about it. What would I say? Can I just make a checklist of this?
Sure.
Don't be too afraid of trying new things. If you don't understand the program, don't be afraid of it. I used to be so like, oh my god, those numbers!
Yeah.
But once you get to it, it's fine. It's one step at a time, as well, I would say. Don't try to learn too many things at once. And then, lastly, it's, you have to know what everyone needs. For example, what a client really needs. It's different from what a client wants. But what they need. At the same time, what an artist needs also. When you manage, when you say leading as management, you don't just lead assets. You don't just manage assets. You also lead people. So you also have to know when it's too much, when they can still handle it, when you can trust them to handle things, and just trust them as well.
Cool. It's a really long checklist of
Yes,
two.
no,
Yeah.
that was 4. I counted 4.
Two?
Two.
Four?
Two.
That was 4.
I was way beyond.
It's okay. You admitted the math isn't strong. That's fine. All right. So, any final quick questions we got for Ryan before we think we're coming up to the
We're going to hit
coming up to the hour.
the hour mark.
So, any last questions, Jory? Ken?
What drives you?
Oh
Ooh.
my. What drives me to what? To play games?
To anything.
To anything and everything?
To live.
To live! What drives you?
Yeah, what fuels your rocket?
Yeah.
What greases your engine?
Oh, there was a long pause there. No,
A long way.
pause.
Shooting for the stars.
What drives me? It's, at least for work, it's really the satisfaction of getting things done well with people. Yeah, it's the collaboration part, I think, really.
I like that part. Sorry, that the satisfaction to finish one thing
Yeah.
done well
Mm-hmm.
with people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I tried doing solo projects and I'm just like,
Yeah.
alright. You sort of need some stingers. You need people to tell you, hey, why did you do that? You could do this. Or why don't you do this? Yeah, it's fun. It's fun with people. Yeah.
How about you, Kim? Do you have any last questions? Alright.
Looks bored. Actually, looks bored.
I like it when people think they need to move really close to the microphone before they get heard.
I was hoping that my
Right,
voice
stop.
really...
She just flashed the camera.
I totally
again. Nice. I'm not nice.
It's-
Like
I was gonna
Does it
say
make a
something, but
difference?
no one would believe me. No way.
What?
Huh?
What were you gonna say?
I don't know.
No, but
You
doesn't...
enjoyed the last episode? What?
Oh no.
Oh!
Hey, it's 1 hour. Remember, guys, eat some dynamite. Kapoosh.
Alright, well, thank you. We really
Thank
appreciate
you.
you coming
Yeah.
by.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
So if you're ever new for a part 2 or part 3,
All of our guests come here, not paid. We don't give them anything. They
Yeah.
just volunteer their own time. So
Not
just to,
even questions. They don't give us a set of questions.
this
Hey,
isn't a
man.
hostage situation. They only speak with. Alright, so no, we really appreciate them, and we appreciate Rai for coming in
Yeah.
and sharing that with us. As Jem mentioned, it's a really juicy episode. Getting an insight into the 2D department
Thank you for having me.
because we never see them anymore. It's
Oh.
Basically a
really-
mystery to us now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like Bigfoot.
Sorry. Hey. No, but thank you.
In your case, Littlefoot.
oh wait, if like a new graduate want to enter,
Yes.
Stay away
Yeah.
from her.
No, I'm a friendly being. Yes.
if an artist wants to, enter your industry.
Yes.
Into your industry.
Your industry.
I want to get into your industry.
Oh god.
Now, what do they need to
I
learn?
think this
What's,
Learn.
what are the prerequisite that they have to learn?
Usually it's the basic programs that we usually use, but
The tools.
it's Photoshop, AI, or Flash if you're an animator. It's usually used, but more importantly, it's also how much you guys would want to learn. It's really willingness to learn is something big.
Staying
then-
hungry.
Huh?
Staying hungry.
Yeah, I suppose it's a nice.
Hey, Steve Jobs said that.
Yeah,
Man.
For Ate B.
it's willingness to learn and willingness to cooperate also with teammates because a lot of it is a give and take. It's a lot of it is teamwork.
It's a collaboration.
Yeah, willingness to learn new things in general, programs, stuff like that. That really is what we look at. And portfolios also, when you come in, portfolios to help. And then,
We'll probably do like an episode on that, just preparing yourself to get into the industry at some point. Where
Yep.
We
you
should
cover-
do that with Anne, since
Yes,
she's the creative
exactly.
director.
Yeah, she's coming in next week, so and if you're out there, that's a preview of what we might be talking about. Then again, we could be talking about something completely different, like the color of your hair, or maybe like what you have for breakfast, or
We could do
Have
it
you
like.
seen Magic Mike? Have you seen Magic Mike?
Hey, she has. She's talked about it a lot.
Have you seen Magic Mike 2?
Oh, that I'm not so sure.
Is
Yeah.
Magic Mike 2 still directed by Sudworth?
That I don't know.
Channing.
Who cares, Jen?
You know what matters to Jen. Okay. I'm in there for what's his name? Matt.
You don't even know his
Who?
Yeah, I don't even know his name. See, I can't even pretend to like Magic Mike. Wasn't that wrestler there as well? What's his name? Kevin. What's all that? Or what's it?
Kirk.
Is that right? I don't know. Oh, well. Magic Mike 2 coming to theaters near you. Alright, so we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you, Rai, for dropping by.
Thank you, Rai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are awesome. And
stay awesome.
Oh,
always stay awesome.
and if you guys have any comments, suggestions, or certain opinions on the questions asked and answered, or the answers that I gave out.
Any questions? Questions asked, answers answered. Yeah, just let us know. If you want any questions, or if you want to throw us any questions that you want asked, feel free to just drop us a line on our Facebook, which is up and running now. We've also got a YouTube channel that you can comment on.
Yeah.
And
A Twitter
As a
account.
side note, we could also take in Gene to talk more about game jams because I don't really know.
We will.
We will.
It's in our guest list.
Alright.
do
you edit these things out?
You were here all along.
No. We published this raw.
Gene, say eat something.
Did Gene actually listen to our
I'm not sure. I shared it to him.
You
You will now.
Alam ko yung episode last week na si Abby yung pwede naman ako talagang mag-discuss ng start with really good. Kailangan ko mag-ganun.
We need dubbing artists.
I bet you want me to dub Gene.
Hey, I totally didn't.
That's a general comment directed at the world. Okay. So once again for episode 4, this is Kyle.
This is Jory Aquino. This is Kim. The Silent Kim.
This is Jemuel. I fucked it up, Bernaldez.
And once again, we want to leave you with saying, start your week right.
Eat some dynamite.